My brothers, it's time to spice things up. We've been playing Helldivers 2 for God knows how long, and we decided we need more of a challenge. We need to be pushed to our limits, and we decided, hey, why don't we come up with a loadout draft? You want to explain it, brother?
Yeah, so the way the draft works basically is you pick a player to go first, and then that player gets to pick one piece of our loadout. So they can pick the primary, secondary, grenade, armor, any of the 4 stratagems, or the entire team's boosters. And then you just go in order and the next person picks. The idea of this was we were going to challenge each other and kind of compete in stats, like who's the better Helldiver kind of thing.
All right, shut up. Let's just get into this. I want to show you guys exactly what took place. So without further ado.
All right, Micho, you pick first.
Yeah, since we're going against bugs, so we're going to go with the SG-20 HALT.
SG-20 HALT. You got it, dude.
Yeah, dude. What's next?
The Ultimatum.
Ooh. All right. Why not? We can get freaky with it. I'm thinking we bring the Emancipator exosuit. How's that sound?
I am never going to use that, but that's fine.
What's
okay,
up next?
let's take the supply pack.
Next up, since we have the supply pack, what do you think of this? You want to get freaky? I don't think you've used this yet. The Speargun. The S11 Speargun.
I have not. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so one stratagem. Do I trust you with the last stratagem? No. I'm gonna take the orbital napalm barrage.
Which leaves me with the armor. You want some drip?
I always want
gotta
drip.
look good. Alright, dude. Let's go
What
with
is
the
it?
unflinching armor.
Okay, so what do we have left? Boosters and grenade. I'm
uh,
gonna say let's bring the thermite grenade. Oh, reliable.
Listen, dude. We need ammo.
Yeah, I got it.
Space optimization. I don't want to be miserable. And quite frankly, we need stamina. So, stamina enhancement.
Alright, this is our loadout.
All right, we're back, Micho, and that was fun.
I've emancipated several times. Even just thinking about it, we did for ourselves exactly what we wanted.
I want to talk about the draft process. Like, what was your thought in picking the items with the loadout? Because obviously you want to pick items that you're good at or that you do well with, right?
Well, yes and no. I also just I looked at this as an opportunity for us to experiment and to fuck around in ways that we maybe haven't in the past. So picking that spear gun was really special because I didn't even know you didn't even have that. You didn't even have the spear gun unlocked prior to this drop. So you unlocking it in that moment, luckily you had enough medals, and then utilizing it for the same time together. That was really fun to me. Picking apart the same targets with this thing, we learned, even though I've used the spear gun before, I'm an idiot, I didn't know you can close bug holes with the spear gun, and we found that out because you shot it at a bug hole, and it closed, and that was awesome.
So I had to try it, and as soon as I saw it closed, I was like, Meech, we have to take out an entire bug hole like this. And we did. We had a really cool...
You mean an entire nest, right? An entire
nest.
Yeah.
Which actually leads me to something else we did that I've wanted to do my entire existence in this game. Well, not my entire existence. Since the bug fortresses have come out, I've always wanted to take one down without dying. And that, if you've ever played with me, that doesn't happen. I can't do that, but we did that.
Yeah, we're shit. We normally die all the time. But it was nice, if I'm not mistaken. So bringing us into one of the other stratagems that I believe I picked was the Emancipator exosuit. Mm-hmm. And you said, as I picked that, well, I'm not going to fucking use that. Like, you weren't even, you were mad. You were not interested in utilizing that stratagem. But I will say, Fortress included, we had a lot of great moments with those things. We were just dual Gundams, man.
If you didn't tell me to call it in, I never would have called it in, not once.
I did have to tell you in to call it in all 3 times. That is true. But it worked out because we had air support 6 times total if you count both of our drops. And we were able to decimate a fortress. We were able to annihilate so much death coming our way.
Dude, my favorite part was like, okay, so there was early in the game, you made us drop our exosuits right away. And we had that Bile Titan off in the distance.
Yeah.
And we just blasted that thing.
That
was
sexy.
sick.
That was nice.
But then we did that like 4 other times. We did that with impalers. Like when we were approaching the nest, there was an impaler like on our right. We took that out.
Dude, there was
and
like
then we go to the
4
nest.
consecutive impalers. There was a lot. Yeah.
We're like, oh, there's another, there's another. And then we split and just did the bug holes. It was kind of easy mode because like in the mech you just destroy everything and you close bug holes, so it was like an easy way to take up the nest.
It felt nice.
It worked. Yeah.
Another thing that we brought that was a first time use, I think for you, maybe you've used it once or twice, but the HALT Shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Now that thing's huge. So going into this, I thought you were just going to hate it, but I think you wound up really appreciating this shotgun, right?
The only time I ever used this shotgun was like when it first came out. I was using it a little bit because it's like the new spicy gun, but I haven't used it since the weapon systems update. So it was a level 1 gun, and it's not that I wasn't expecting it to be good. It's like when I use a shotgun, I use the cookout. You know, that's my go-to. So I was just like, I had no expectations for this, but I was surprised. This motherfucker destroys the flyers.
Yeah, dude, it's got a decent range to it. On top of that, you can crack things from a decent distance. You have 2 different fire modes, or pardon me, 2 different types of ammunition. You have stun rounds, and then you just have standard, what are they called? Fletcher rounds, something like that. Fleck, something, I don't know, I'm not intelligent enough to remember, but you guys get the point. There's
you
2
have
fire
boom
modes.
and you have buzz.
Yeah, dude, boom and buzz. Yeah, it's a great shotgun. Some of my favorite moments utilizing that was us just being swarmed by hunters and like these smaller units all around us and us covering each other. The amount of times I took so much joy of shooting enemies that were coming at you, and I think you were doing vice versa with me, and there was this several moments in the game where we were just in the thick of it, covering each other with these HALT shotguns, and it felt good, man.
My biggest downside with the gun is like, okay, it's a shotgun with rounds reload. If you're really swarmed by bugs, you can't be shooting all the little bugs.
Yeah.
Like, the little bugs you have to melee.
I was meleeing a lot in that game, now that you say that, because there was just circumstances where my reload wasn't going to be fast enough, and you decided to pick an Ultimatum as our secondary.
Yep.
So it's not like we could switch to a secondary where we can easily remove chaff. You kind of had to be wise with what you were doing, but I will say this, I never bring the Ultimatum. I don't really fancy it. I understand its usefulness and its utility, but I don't know, I'd just rather bring a sidearm or like a melee weapon personally. But the Ultimatum was fantastic. We were blowing things up left and right with that, especially because you told us to also pick the supply pack. And I didn't realize how goated that is. Ultimatum plus the combo of the supply pack. You are just shooting shit all day, watching booms go off. And
You know, the supply pack, though, actually surprisingly good with the speargun.
yes, dude. Absolutely.
Because the speargun is
12
takes
shots.
Kind of 12 shots. It takes a good second to reload. But dude, that thing creates space for you. I was like shooting that on bug holes and like just creating distance.
Dude, the amount of times we were getting swarmed by just masses of enemies, and a lot of times I wouldn't even shoot it directly at an enemy. I would shoot it like at their feet, or like at specific points on the floor where it would just confuse them. And by the way, the spear gun, in my opinion, is infinitely better than gas grenade. I will take that over gas grenades any day. Any day.
Better than any gas item in the game.
Yep.
Period. In my opinion. For sure.
Definitely, if this run did anything for us, I think it's give us a more profound respect for the spear gun. It is just gorgeous.
And can we talk about why that is for a second? Because I think it's really like nuanced. It's not just that like you get gas where you want to go. Because yes, you can pinpoint gas to any location you want. But it's like, what is bugging you right now? Is it a Bile Titan? Shoot that fucker in the head. Is it a Charger? Shoot that fucker in the head. Whatever it is, shoot it in the head. Is it a bunch of little things?
Dude, we got so many cool stalker kills with that thing. That thing rails on stalkers.
I like the I know you said this at the beginning, but it gives a very like Captain Abe, Moby Dick.
Yeah, Ahab.
Is it Captain Abe?
Captain Ahab.
Captain Ahab and Moby Dick vibe.
Little Moby Dick vibe for that ass.
All right, Misha. So let's talk about these points.
Yeah, dude, break it down. I'm not good with math, so help me with the numbers.
On a point system. Please help us make this point system better. So the way it works is you're going to get points if you're the yellow text. So if you are the top stat for that stat, you get the points. It works a little bit better. Like the points are more spread out when there's a full squad, because we've done that before. But for now, we have kills at 5 points, accuracy at 4 points, shots fired at 1 point, shots hit at 1 point, because it's kind of redundant of accuracy, we think.
Yeah.
But it's nice to just include those. Deaths, you get minus points equal to the number of deaths you have. You get 2 points for having the most stims. You get minus 2 times the number of accidentals you have. You get plus the number of samples you extracted with, but there's a caveat: cannot kill somebody to take their samples.
Yeah, you can't be a bad guy. Gotta be nice.
You can pick up their samples when they die. So stratagems were 3 points, melee kills were 3 points, times reinforcing were 1 point, friendly fire was minus 2 points, distance traveled was 3 points. And for this one, our stats are pretty clear that Micho won this one. He had the most accuracy, the most shots fired, the most shots hit, the most stims used, the least accidentals, the most friendly fire damage. No, sorry, the least friendly fire damage. And what's the last one? That was it. That's all you had. Okay,
So I'm King
but you
Dick.
won.
Hell yeah, dude. That means we're, as far as this challenge series goes, it's 1-0, brother.
It is 1-0. Micho has the advantage in the next challenge. So let's talk about that. We want to do a little competition between you and I, but also including other people along the way. And we're going to come up with challenges. Some of these are going to be loadout challenges like this. Some of them are going to be drafts. You guys come up with a challenge and comment it. Whatever the top comment is, we'll try to do it.
Yeah,
We'll make that our challenge.
I'll do whatever you sick freaks want me to do.
Or if you don't have a challenge, we're probably going to end up doing another draft of sorts. But you can pick an advantage that the winner of the last challenge, which sadly right now is Micho, gets in the next round. So an example of that could be he gets the first 2 picks, or he gets to pick the faction by himself, or whatever it is.
That's it for today's episode, brothers. We hope you enjoyed this loadout draft. There is more to come, because I think there's a lot more fun to be had, a lot more customizations to be seen. And we also hope you join our Discord. We have a growing Discord of guys that just love the game and want to talk about the game and shoot the shit. So please come join us if you need people to play with. And have a good day, brothers. I love you. Wash your asses.